You wake up on a Saturday with no alarm, no boss, and no email notifications screaming for attention. It feels natural, deserved, almost ancient. But here's the weird part. Humans didn't always have weekends. For most of history, the idea of 2 whole days off would have sounded like a joke told right before you were sent back to work. So who decided we needed breaks? Who approved Saturdays and Sundays as official do nothing but still survive days? I'm Professor Everything, and today we'll be answering the question, how did the idea of weekends come to exist? Right here on Explaining Everything. First, let's set the scene. The year is any time before the 19th century, and the concept of work-life balance is as non-existent as Wi-Fi in a forest. If you were alive back then, congratulations! You were likely working 7 days a week, sunrise to sunset. Farmers tilled fields, blacksmiths hammered iron, and merchants haggled relentlessly, all while wondering why their back pain had back pain. For most of history, the idea of taking a day off was tied to religious practices. Ancient Jews observed the Sabbath, a day of rest from Friday evening to Saturday evening, and Christians eventually adopted Sunday as a holy day. But let's be real. Even on these rest days, people were often attending long, mandatory religious services. So it wasn't exactly Netflix and chill energy. Fun fact, in medieval Europe, holidays were essentially the OG weekends. People got breaks on feast days, but don't picture them lounging in hammocks. They were more like, yay, no work, time to attend a 3-hour mass and eat questionable meat pies. Truly the dream. Fast forward to the Industrial Revolution, aka the era where humans said, what if we worked harder than ever before, but also invented trains? Factories sprang up, and the 9-to-5 grind wasn't just born, it was weaponized. Workers, including kids, because child labor laws weren't a thing yet, toiled for 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week. Sundays were technically a day off, but that was more about collapsing from exhaustion than resting. And then came the labor unions, aka the heroes of this story. By the 19th century, workers started demanding better hours, better conditions, and, most importantly, more time to not be in a factory inhaling coal dust. The slogan, 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, and 8 hours for what we will, became popular. Though let's be honest, the what we will part probably involved collapsing on the nearest flat surface. Here's where it gets spicy. Employers initially resisted giving workers more time off. They thought giving people leisure time would lead to dangerous activities like thinking independently or enjoying life. The horror. You might think labor unions did it all, but religion and capitalism also joined the chat. In the late 19th century, Jewish workers in America were like, hey, we need Saturdays off for the Sabbath. But employers, mostly Christian, were like, how about no? This created tension because many workers wanted Sundays off, too. Enter the 2-day weekend compromise. It wasn't born out of kindness, but practicality, because trying to manage a workforce that kept disappearing on different days was a logistical nightmare. Now, here's the capitalism twist. In the early 20th century, industrialist Henry Ford, yes, the car guy, realized something groundbreaking. If you give people time off, they'll use it to buy stuff. Ford implemented the 5-day, 40-hour work week in 1926, not because he was a saint, but because he wanted his employees to have time and energy to buy his cars. In short, weekends became a win-win. Workers rested, and businesses profited. Capitalism strikes again. By the mid-20th century, the 2-day weekend became the norm in many countries, but not without resistance. Some companies clung to 6-day work weeks like your grandma clings to her ancient flip phone. Gradually, though, the weekend spread, and it became synonymous with freedom, relaxation, and occasionally regrettable karaoke choices. Interestingly, weekends aren't universal. In some countries, like Saudi Arabia, the weekend traditionally fell on Friday and Saturday, due to Islamic practices. However, many nations have shifted to Saturday-Sunday weekends to align with global business schedules. It's a fascinating mix of tradition and practicality, or, as I like to call it, corporate peer pressure. So, we've got our glorious 2-day weekend. But here's the catch. Are we really using it to relax? Modern weekends are often filled with chores, errands, social obligations, and a questionable amount of time spent doom scrolling on our phones. If you're lucky, you'll squeeze in a nap or a binge-watch session before Monday comes knocking like an uninvited guest. Ironically, as much as we love weekends, studies show we're terrible at enjoying them. Many of us feel guilty for relaxing or try to cram in so much fun that it becomes stressful. Capitalism, you win again. And there you have it, the surprisingly convoluted, occasionally absurd history of how weekends came to exist. From religious traditions to labor union battles and even sneaky capitalist strategies, the weekend is a testament to humanity's eternal struggle to just chill out. If you like this video, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. If you enjoyed this video, please check out our other bingeable channels. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.